Hello, I'm once again the Mustachioed Anarchist, and on this video I'm going to be talking about pride. Um, Most of my videos are probably going to be more like this one. Uh, I have a couple other videos that I have lined up that I'm writing up right now, like truth, and uh, I have one about love coming up. If you watched the Socratic seminar, I said that love is success, so I'm going to explain that and all in some later videos, but these are what most of my videos are going to be like. Uh, I'm probably going to have some more political ones every now and then, but the majority will be like these ones. So, all that being said, let's get into pride. Um, I think that I've too often looked at pride from just the common standpoint and haven't really ever thought about it. Um, Actually, until the day that I wrote this, I had never actually thought about pride. And thinking about pride from my own personal philosophical standpoint, this is sort of what I've come up with. Um, what is pride? Is it a feeling of joy for being yourself, or is it a feeling of joy for not being what you aren't? Um, if that's pride, then pride is arbitrary. We are born into certain things like our race, our gender, our sexual orientation, our heritage, our class, our country, and very often even our religion. When we are born, we have no control over what we are born into or who we are born as. At least none that I can recall. To be prideful of such things is really meaningless. On possibly the most meaningless level of pride is pride in where we are born into living. I myself have been prideful of this very thing. As a child, I was very proud to be an American. Um, Around the age of 13, when I moved to Arizona, I was very proud to be a Minnesotan, as if being a Minnesotan made me better than all of the Arizonans. Um, but why? I had no control over being born in the town of Prior Lake, Minnesota, which, yeah, another thing people will be prideful for, and it goes on and on. I'm surprised I did not at any point believe my address to be better than my neighbor's. Um, or in the state of Minnesota at all, or in the northern half of the United States, or even in America at all. So why is it then that we're so prideful in where we're from? As I looked into the definition of pride, which is actually something I do quite often, I like to look into the definition of things and see what they mean in the roots, I suppose. So, as I looked into the definition of pride, the first one I came across read as follows: a feeling or deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements, the achievements of those with whom one is closely associated, or from qualities or possessions that are widely admired. Is that this then? Was being born where I was and as who I was an achievement? Is that to say that people born in all other places are through failure? When these Were these things widely admired? I don't think so. It, it is no more nor less an achievement to be born here or in the dirtiest slums of some other faraway place. As I'm making this video, the 4th of July has just recently passed a little over a week ago, and on this day, more than any other, arbitrary American pride is everywhere, obviously. Um, from fireworks, parades, to patriotically colored clothing and those little American flags lining the sides of roads that just seem to pop up out of nowhere, or even these little rings on cupcakes that you get. Uh, American pride and nationalism is everywhere. But what is it that this pride is for? Is it for the revolutionaries of 1776 declaring their independence of the oppressive British power? If that's the case, then why? The people alive today are not the ones who did this, and as I see America today, I'm not sure any would have done this, or at least not very many. Why take pride in our ancestors' achievements? They weren't ours. And then there's the big part about supporting your troops, and if you don't, then you're obviously a terrorist. But why should we support our troops? Why should we take pride in them going into countries that are much less well off than ours and slaughtering their enemy's military? And as I stated in my last video, where they kill so many innocent people. For what reason should I take pride in that? Not only is this pride arbitrary, because it depends on where you happen to be born, but it is also dangerous for people on both sides of it. For the Americans, it's dangerous because they're enlisting in the military, going out into foreign lands and trying to fight other people and end up, getting shot and killed or getting a leg blown off or anything sort of like that. For the other side, it's dangerous because it's pretty much the same things happening, but our people are coming into their land and trying to kill them. The FIFA World Cup is yet another instance of this arbitrary nationalism and pride. Not only is the FIFA World Cup one of these instances, but so is the Olympics and any other sporting event where countries compete against each other. Much like the military pride, pride in a national sports team is arbitrarily based on where you were born or grew up or whatever the case be. There's nothing connecting you to the sports team other than you happening to live in the country that they represent. Their accomplishments are not our own, yet they are treated as such. And why?